Friends, I'm just gonna make sure. There we go. And we are live. Awesome. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm really excited to have a conversation with you today. And, wow, talk about change, talk about shift. And so I wanted to come on today and talk about the gift in the process. And some of you might be like, what the heck is that, Catherine? So if you're here and you're on the website, just give a chat, say hi, let me know you're here because the more that we interact, the more that I can actually contribute to you in your specific situation, the more tools and the more confidence you walk away with from today's video. So I love doing these because, sometimes it's just like a little shift. And I can't tell you how many times I start talking about a topic. I post something somewhere and someone says, "Oh my gosh, I feel like you're talking to me." And for some crazy, weird reason, I have this incredible gift to be able to let people, I don't know, like I can hear your heads sometimes, or I can just perceive what's required in the moment. And so today I want to talk a little bit about this topic called the gift in the process. And, like so often we are in a rush to get where we want to go. And when we're rushing to get to where we want to go, we're judging ourselves that we're not farther along or comparing ourselves to where other people are at versus where we're at. And I wanted to bring it back to the present moment and talk about the gift in the process. And so, what do I mean by that? It's the gift of being present because everything that you have not yet manifested and everything that doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out is designed to grow you, is designed to make you stronger, and is designed to shift your perspective. And so you can't do the same thing you've always done to get somewhere you've never been. I'm going to say that one more time. And if you resonate, type a yes in the chat, right? If you're on my website right now, um, I can see you chatting. If you are seeing this somewhere on social media or somewhere else in the world, and we are live in this moment, then come on over to the website. And oh, there it is. Come on over to the website so that we can interact with each other. Because the more we interact with each other, the more I actually help you with your current situation, the more ahas and the more tools you're going to walk away from. So if you're on this, just say yes. I will keep you anonymous. I'm not going to call you out, but it's helpful to know that you're here, right? And so some part of what we tend to do, oops. Nope, don't want that. Part of what we tend to do, I'm just for those of you on social media, I'm looking it up. You can go to katherinemcintosh.com and up in the tab section, there's a little tab that is called, and I'm just pulling it up on on my own website, that's called Connect Live. And if you go to Connect Live, that's where we are on the website. So it's a lot easier and it's a lot more fun to interact with you if you're on social media and you're commenting or posting and you feel like I'm ignoring you. It's simply because I can't see you. We're just streaming to those platforms. And I wanted to really bring it back to the present moment. I want to invite you to take a moment to really look at where you are now, not from a place of judgment, not from a place of wrongness, not from a place of feeling discouraged, but from a place of wow. Look at what you've overcome. Look at what you've survived. Look at where you are. Look at what you have. And if you're following me on the website and you want to just give a little chat about something you're grateful for, it always helps. And I know sometimes when we're in a funky place, we resist doing those moments of gratitude. We resist acknowledging where we currently are. And, I woke up this morning and went to bed last night and I wrote a page each, once last night and once this morning, about what am I grateful for? And one of the things that I think really helps shift the needle about this is is not just to write it down, but to feel it in your physical body. We're physical beings living in physical bodies, and sometimes that is an amazing experience, and sometimes it's a challenging experience. And I want to invite you in this moment is what if you gave yourself permission to let go of expectations? Because here's the deal. Expectations usually lead to disappointment. Disappointment usually leads to frustration. And when you're in those experiences, you are pretty far away from gratitude, from the gift in where you are now. And so one of the most beautiful experiences we can experience is to feel, right? To perceive the the energy of always shifting. And so if you don't like where you are, what do you need to start to choose different? What do you need to start to think different? And, I say this a lot because I'm such a physical, like kinesthetic person. Most of the information that I receive comes through receiving it in forms of physical sensation in the body. And so when I'm working one to one with clients or in group dynamics, so whether it's a weekend workshop or it's an online virtual event workshop, my body can feel where everyone is in every moment. And I always look at it as like this curious adventure. But yet most people, when we're suffering, when we feel lack, when there's not as much gratitude as we'd like to have, we tend not to enjoy the process. We tend not to get curious. And it's in the getting curious that everything can shift. It's in the, this is going to sound crazy, and you might want to tell me to go somewhere where the sun doesn't shine, but the the gift is to recognize that you need to make a shift. And shifts can be scary. Why? Because it's an unknown. And whenever something is an unknown, we generally label it as fear. And most of us do not have a positive association with fear. We have a negative association with it. And so, immediately when you're in a moment and you know you need to make a shift, right? The idea of the shift is really exciting, but the logistics of the shift can feel daunting. And so I wanted to give you some information, some ideas, maybe some possibilities that you can start to choose when you're in that moment. And so let's say, as an example, you are going to move across country. The idea of moving can be really exciting. The task of moving, packing up, hiring movers, hauling furniture, like throwing away stuff. You may have collected a lot of stuff over the years and you need to weed through it, that can feel really daunting. And so we tend to focus on the tasks that feel overwhelming, and then our system gets overwhelmed, right? But the gift in the process is this idea of feeling the sensation of what it feels like to move. And all of a sudden, so if I want you to think about, and it might not be across country, but let's say you just found out you get to move into your dream home, right? The energy of it is quite alive in the body. There's a sensation and the blood starts rushing, the heart starts pounding, like all these things happen. And then your brain starts thinking about possibilities. When you shift that perspective and you go into, oh my gosh, I can't move. This is overwhelming. How am I going to come up with the money? How am I going to find the movers? Like, how am I going to pack my stuff up in 30 days? And we start to scramble on the tasks. And when we do that, it shifts our vibration to a lower vibration state where we don't feel as resourced, where we don't feel as enlivened and excited. So part of this is to get is to, and Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this. He says, fall in love with the process, fall in love with the journey, fall in love with not so much worrying about the results. But I'm going to say this, and some of you might not like what I'm going to say, is holding yourself accountable for the things you can do every day to shift your vibration. So if you're somebody who doesn't physically move your body, one of the things you can do to shift your vibration is move your body for 10 minutes. If you don't drink enough water, one of the things you can do to change your vibration is start to drink enough water. If you don't have a practice in which you are either thinking and dreaming and giving your body permission to, it's one thing to just go, oh, I'm going to dream about the future and think about it. But usually, when you dream about the future, it changes the vibration in your body to a higher elevated state. And so when you realize that it's not about the results, because judging results usually creates a lower vibration state, because we're almost always disappointed by the result. Sometimes we are surprised positively by the result. But the point is to start to engage in your daily activities, like all of the things that raise your vibration. And guess what? Then the results start to show up. As long as we're doing it for the result, we're doing it for the wrong reason. And I'm going to say that again so that you can hear me. So, as long as you're doing it for the result, you're doing it for the wrong reason. But if you're doing it for the journey, for the experience, for the energy, for what it feeds you in the process, then the results will begin to appear. Right. And I remember years ago, I had this idea in my coaching practice to basically offer people 15 minutes a day with me. And it was 15 minutes a day. And when I first looked at it, I was like, wow, that would create a lot of energy. 15 minutes a day to inspire, to encourage, to sort of practice getting your mindset right, practice changing your vibration, practice like thinking in the possibility realm. And when I looked at it, I was like, how the heck am I going to show up every day for 15 minutes a day? What if I'm traveling? What if I'm on a plane? Because when I chose to do this, it was pre COVID, it was pre lockdown, and I was on a plane and traveling 2 weeks out of every 4 weeks, sometimes more. And so my brain couldn't quite calculate if I was gonna be able to commit to it, and I didn't wanna disappoint people if I couldn't show up. But I had the energy and I was like, "I'm gonna do it anyway." And this, I believe, was November of 2019. And, lo and behold, March, when I was about to start traveling, right? I think we had everything booked for Europe for, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. And I was going to be traveling a lot. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, guess what? Lockdown happened. And I was so grateful that I chose to follow the present moment, which the present moment was, wow, that feels really good to choose that. And I'm not going to worry about 6 months down the road. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to change my schedule. Maybe I'll change all my flights. Maybe I'll just make sure that I am making this 15-minute commitment to myself and everyone else who chose to be a part of it. And people still write to me and say, I did it for 3 years, right? We stopped in 2022. I think we ended in December of 2022, but people still say, "Wow, that was like the best choice. That was like the best moment in time." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was." 3 years straight, so 2020, 2021, and 2022. 3 years straight of 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and what it did, not only for myself, but for everyone else, it started to hold people accountable to show up, and in those 15 minutes, shift your vibration, and it takes is a few minutes to shift your vibration, and in that shift, it changes your whole day. It changes your whole day. Why? Because 'Cause you're committed to you, and those 15 minutes was a commitment to whoever showed up. It was a commitment to their journey, a commitment to their process, a commitment to them, and an honoring of them to show up as much as they could. And some people couldn't be live, so they listened to the recordings every day, and they were so grateful that the recordings were available. So I am not sure if my chat is working. I would love to see, just because this is a new system we're using, and I would love to see if you are live on the website and watching from the website, if you want to just like say hi. And so I know that the chat's actually working. That would be amazing if you felt called to do so. And so those, those present moments where you're not worried about, if I do this, will it create this? And that's why a lot of diets fail, because people focus on, are they losing the weight? Is their body transforming? And if they don't see results within a week or 2 or 3, they give up. But they fail to recognize that if they were to wake up every day and ask, "Hey, body, what can I do to give you more energy? What can I do to honor you? What can I do to increase your vibration?" Oh, yay, it works. Thank you. Awesome. Hello, sweetness. So, you guys are welcome to type in the chat. You're welcome to ask a question. You're welcome to share an aha. I will keep you anonymous if you would like to remain anonymous. And yeah, baby. I love you. I knew who it was. I got the energy. And that's the whole thing, you guys, is when we are going for the energy, all of a sudden you're waking up every day and you're filling your body, you're filling your spirit, you're fueling your entire life with energy. What do you think you're going to manifest and create in your life? Right? You're probably going to manifest and create a lot because you're focusing. And here's the gift in the process: you're focusing on what you can do and you're doing it. and you're not focusing on what you can't do. So, I'm going to tell a little story to demonstrate this thought process. So when I gave after I gave birth to my son, I basically, when I got pregnant, I got extremely sick. And I was the girl who was going to yoga, who was going to dance classes, who's doing green drinks and lots of kale and all these, what felt like amazing things. But I was always struggling with my body and my self-esteem and my image. And when I got pregnant, I made a promise to myself and my body. And I said, I am going to follow whatever it is you ask of me. I'm going to eat what you want me to eat. I'm going to not eat what you don't want me to eat. I'm going to exercise how you want me to exercise. And when I got pregnant, right away, I got sick. Like right away. And we're talking so sick that I couldn't even crawl out of bed. And the days that I could crawl out of bed to go to work, I was a hairdresser at the time. I was also doing energy work and teaching dance classes. I was doing a lot. And I remember like some days cutting people's hair and just the smells that were coming off of their bodies. I was like, I am going to throw up. And it took every ounce of my energy to not get sick, right? To not actually throw up. But I was nauseous pretty much 24/7. I had no energy. I couldn't work out. And so as soon as I got pregnant, I kind of stopped doing the things that I was doing with my body. And I was like, okay, this is what's required. I'm going to rest. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to, just take lots of baths and nurture myself. And it was a really foreign experience for me to do that because I had a 20-year history of anorexia, bulimia, an eating disorder, and body dysmorphia. And so my worst nightmare was that if I gave my body permission to do whatever it wanted to do, to be in the present moment, I would get fat. I would be uncontrollable with food. And what I found happened is the exact opposite. So when that occurred, it was like, "Oh my god." Everything truly was not as I thought. And so sometimes what happened is in the process of paying attention to my body, I got the result I wanted. And I hope you guys can hear this. In the process of being in the present moment and doing what my body wanted, I got the result I wanted, right? And so when my son was born, now I hadn't worked out for a good 8 to 10 months. And he was probably 2 months, I don't know, my body had finally healed. I did a at-home birth, and I remember one day just realizing that I needed to start moving my body. I had, like, collected all of this energy and angst and worry and fear and all this anxiety, and that was feeling foreign to me. And I was like, I gotta do something with this energy. So I remember putting on, and I think I had gotten into a fight with my husband, or I just was like really aggro. And I put on my running pants and I put on a jacket. It was quite cold out. I think it was November or December. And I just started running. And not only did I start running, I started sprinting. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't worked out or run or like done anything besides walking for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 months. How the heck am I running? And I went for like a 30-minute run and I came home and I was like, whoa, that amount of energy is amazing. And then I kept waking up wanting to feel the energy of what it felt like to run, to move my body again, to feel alive and inspired by moving my body. I was not looking to lose weight. I was not looking to change my mom body after having a baby, I was literally looking to move energy. And 6 months later, after my son was born, I did a photo shoot. And when I got the photos back, I did a bunch of nude photos as well. And when I got the photos back, I was like, "Oh my god, I have abs. Oh my god, I have like wow." It was like this shock to the system because for the first time in my life, I wasn't choosing based on the result I thought I was going to get. And I hope you guys can hear me on this, right? If it resonates, if you want to type yes in the chat, great. If you have a question specifically about where you are and you feel like you need a shift and you need a perspective change, I'm happy to offer whatever I can see. And then you can filter it through your own awareness and see what feels light, because what is true for you will make you feel light. What isn't true for you will feel heavy. And so there's these moments in our lives where we're calculating the result. And so we change our action based on the result, but sometimes the action does not raise our vibration. The action actually lowers our vibration. The action isn't in alignment with ourselves. Right? The action is like, right? And so if you're listening to this conversation, you're like, wow, I am aware that I have been choosing actions that are actually lowering my vibration instead of choosing actions that are raising my vibration. So if this resonates with you, I want you to take out a piece of paper, grab your journal, and start making a list of the actions you're taking that are lowering your vibration, the thoughts you're choosing that are lowering your vibration. And then I want you to write down the actions you could be taking or are taking that raise your vibration. I am I hate to admit it, I'm a Hallmark junkie. So I love the Hallmark Channel. And sometimes when I'm working really late nights on the computer and my son's sleeping, I will put on the Hallmark Channel for background noise. And I put on it last night. I think I was up till 2 in the morning working because I was inspired. And sometimes we get inspired and we work, right? Sometimes we're not inspired and we force ourselves to work. Those are the times not to work, right? Or to do something different. And so this Hallmark movie, and I don't know what it was called, um I don't remember what it was called, but it was about this woman who had found this bracelet that had like 5 pearl beads on it. And they were kind of big, sort of fashiony, and she it was like her, I don't remember what she called it, but she was like, "No, these are my." Awesome. I figured out the sign in process. I know it's a little complicated, you guys. I'm so sorry, but we're trying something new out so that everything is on the website, which is really exciting. And so if you're on social media and you want to dive into this conversation and chat with me live so I can see you, and yes, it is a sign in process. You can also just go to the website, but yeah, I know it's a little challenging, but if you go to, I think it's called Free Live Content, or Connect Live with Catherine. That is where we are right now. And you can find us live on my website, katherinemcintosh.com. And so this movie, it was about this woman who was about to lose her house, was about to go in default with her mortgage, was in a huge life process, was a single mom. The dad had left, and she was having to do everything on her own. And I resonate with this story very much. But what was really cool is this bracelet. She went from like just like feeling overwhelmed. How am I going to make it happen? What am I going to do? And she found this bracelet that she had made for herself and made for all of her friends in high school, and it was these beads, and in the beads, she would take a bead and say, "Okay, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this," and it was 5 beads, and she'd do it once a day, sometimes in the afternoon, some like, wherever she was, she'd touch the bracelet, and she'd say something, and within a very short amount of time, her whole life changed. And so, sometimes when we are in fear, and I hope you guys can hear this and say yes if you do. Sometimes when we are in fear, we focus on results, which just energizes more fear because we get farther and farther away from the result. We get farther and farther away from where we want to be. You guys with me? Quite, it's quite amazing, right? Yeah. And so we get farther and farther away from where we want to be. And then we try to go into fix it mode, into problem solving mode. And I will tell you the quickest way to solve your problems is to stop focusing on the problem and to start focusing on the present moment, on the growth, on what is in your life, on who is in your life, on what you've learned. That's a great one. Is go, wow, I've learned this about myself, or I've learned this, right? I kind of joke around sometimes and I'm like, I should teach a class on people pleasing. Giving up people pleasing for good, because the people pleasers out there, we tend to sometimes focus on the result instead of focusing on how we feel and how we're feeling. So that's kind of all I wanted to share with you today, but it's just this reminder of how do you get back into the present moment. You are never going to be where you want to be. It's just it's just true. And the times that I've gotten to the places that I've always dreamed of, I'm like, that's it. That's what it feels like. It never feels like what you expect. And so if you're constantly down on yourself that you're not where you want to be, I promise you when you get where you want to be, you're going to be like, "Meh." So you might as well learn to teach yourself to find things on the daily that raise your vibration. So, if gratitude raises your vibration, if moving your body, you're not doing it to lose weight, you're doing it because it makes you feel good. Go hug a tree, call your best friend, maybe make the 3 phone calls you've been postponing or like procrastinating on. And so instead of worrying about if you're going to get rejected, ask yourself, if I do this action, right? Will it create more energy in my body? Will it raise my vibration? Will it expand my joy? Right? Will it expand my confidence? And so you never know what is going to get created, right? Trying to plan for a future that hasn't yet happened doesn't always work. Now, it's great to have dreams. Don't give your dreams up, but give yourself a break. And so I just want to come on here, say hi. It's been a while. We're going to start doing more live videos like this. So if you like this, type a yes in the chat. I know some of you are like, I don't know how. So thank you for the sign in process. I know it's a bit of a sign in process. I'm wondering if you're just on the website, you're not able to interact. You might need to sign in. So thank you for figuring it out. Maybe we'll send an email out about how to figure it out. But I just want to connect in. So tomorrow I'm going to go live again on this page where you find me. And let's see. tomorrow we are going live at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and tomorrow's topic is called a breath of fresh air. So I want to encourage you between now and tomorrow to start to consider what can you do for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes that would raise your vibration. What can you commit to between now and tomorrow that will actually make you feel better about yourself, right? And I don't know what that is for you. It might be a walk. It might be make the phone call you've been putting off for a week. It might be celebrate if you got your taxes done in the US, right? Yesterday was tax day. Um, so only you know what you can commit to between now and tomorrow that would raise your vibration. Maybe you want to give somebody a hug. Maybe, you want to write out a business plan. Maybe you want to, um, I don't know, record a video. Like, what's something you've been putting off that you can commit to doing right away? And, you guys, it's in the little choices every day that make a huge difference over time. Instead of looking for the big choices, and then once they show up, you're scared they're there. You're like, "Oh my god, it's too big of a choice." It's like, yeah, because you haven't been practicing the little choices. So practice the little choices and start to let yourself honor who you are and what you do. And, right now we're all being asked to change. And, I'm going through a huge shift in my life and I'm pretty excited about it. But I had to sit with that it didn't feel so comfortable in the moment, but I knew that it was a growing moment. And so please be gentle with yourselves in this process as you journey through life. Start to find a practice in which you are either writing down your gratitude, you're really getting present within your sleep. If you have some sort of a conscious practice that you choose, right? Do it, do more of it and see what happens. So I just want to thank you for coming on live, for being here. And yeah, okay, cool. You have to enter a comment to get the pop-up to sign in. Okay, cool. Awesome. How cool is that? Thank you for the awareness. So I've never been on that side of the table. I've only been on this side of the table. So you have to enter a comment to get the pop-up to sign in. So please enter a comment, get the pop-up, sign in. When you sign in, you'll be alerted every time I go live, right? Every time I go live. And, we've got some really exciting stuff. For 20 years, I've been asked to teach my energy work. For 20 years, I've kind of resisted it, dabbled in it a little bit, taught 1-day classes around the world. But for the first time ever, I am diving into a 3-month course to not teach you technique, but to teach you how you read energy so you can, dive into your practice even deeper, whatever that is. And, it's specifically designed for energy workers, body workers, massage therapists, acupuncturists, coaches, consultants, even people who do feng shui. If you work with the energy of spaces, if you work with people, it's going to be a pretty massive course. I'm pretty excited about it. I've been writing the content or starting to get ready to create the videos for it. You're going to have live coaching with me. And I'll be starting to talk about it in the next few days. But that begins May 15th. And we don't have all the detail. Well, we have most of the details for you, but it's not ready yet. It will be ready shortly. But if you're like, oh, yeah, want to check that out, let us know and we'll make sure we send it to you so that you have first access to seeing what is next in the world of Catherine. And yeah, I just want to thank you all for being here. Be kind with yourselves. And so, what can you commit to between now and tomorrow? 24 hours. And then if you liked this conversation, you'd like more, you can join us live at 11:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So I'm in Aspen, Colorado. And if you missed the live, you can come back to the website to this page where you're viewing this video and you can catch the replay for free. And there's a lot of videos on here. So please feel free to take advantage, check them out. And in the meantime, keep being awesome. And I'm going to invite you to make a list. What lowers your vibration that you're choosing right now that you need to cut out of your life? And what raises your vibration that you need to add more to? So enjoy the journey, my friends, because it isn't about getting to the destination. It's about enjoying every moment, the challenging moments, the joyful moments, the ecstatic moments, and, the moments that make us grow the most are not the happiest of times. So enjoy your growth process, and I hope to see you again. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.